Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwarash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. Another episode going into news and prophecy, linking the things that are happening worldwide to the Holy Scriptures, so that the faithful elect, the remnant, can know, all right, that the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, all right, are faithful and true. All right, as we speak the end into existence through the words given unto us by the only begotten Son of the Most High God, Yahweh, who sits at the right-hand side, our mediator, our high priest, and our way back to the Father in these latter days. All right, through the understanding given through the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit. All right, which is why you see so many Israelites, popping up, going out on the highways and the byways and doing these videos. But amongst all of the Israelites that you see, there's only a remnant, all right, that have the truth. All right, the new song has been given to the servants, the prophets, as you read in Revelation, the 14th chapter, to speak, all right, the end into existence, all right, which when you go into that real quick, Revelation, the 14th chapter, which is written right after Revelation, the 13th chapter, which in that chapter, it gives you an understanding and insight, all right, to the revival of Rome, all right, which is the little horn that extends from the fourth beast, all right, from the Renaissance period unto now. Rome has been revived into the earth, all right, and Esau Edom, who heads this beast system, has a plan, all right, to bring about world domination via, all right, technology, miracles. And of course, we know that that micro C-hip, all right, is lurking. That's in the plan when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter. Synonymously, you have Revelation, the 14th chapter, all right, which foretells the servants, the prophets who have the new song, as the scriptures tell us. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto the death. All right, so under the blood of Yahweh Shai, all right, which was shed, not only to cover the sins of the elect, all right, but also to give us access and insight, all right, to the understanding of these scriptures, man. Okay, so that we can offer up the right sacrifice through faith as we go through these crazy times, man. But when you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, right after Revelation, the 13th chapter, which foretells the plan, the plans of this beast system and what they're going to bring, okay, the new song is given to the servants, the prophets, all right, which is key. All right, it's key that the prophets go out and prophesy, because what they speak has to come into existence. All right, and we are not, all right, the catch. The catch is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai via the Holy Spirit. We're just vessels chosen, as the scriptures say in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, and the 7th verse. I'll start at 6. It says, "For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts," which we know the Hebrew word for heart is la, but your mind, "to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of Yahweh Shai, our mediator. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, yet not in despair." So, we understand the hell that's going to come with taking this stance, but we won't be forsaken. We will be persecuted, all right, but not destroyed, all right? And this is what comes with walking with this message, which ultimately Revelation 14:6 says, "And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, which the angels speak through men on earth, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people." Okay, and we know, real quick, let's get the book of Matthew 24, and I believe the 14th verse. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, which we know the internet is a big part of the heavy lifting on that aspect. All right, but you have Israelites being raised up throughout the four corners of the earth. But it starts here in Babylon the Great. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And we know the end is associated with civil war, the implementation of, the mark of the beast, all right, and also World War III, which Israel, all right, will be destroyed and decimated. The land of Israel headed by Russia and the different nations, and also America, who's going to be drawn into conflict, all right, will also suffer a great destruction, which Israel, that land will be rebuilt. America, pursuing the prophecy, will be a memorial, a monument associated with rebellion. So this gospel, all right, would have to be preached. Then the end would come. Okay, and the gospel, all right, is fulfilled in this, Revelation 14:7, saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High and give glory unto him, for the hour of his judgment is come. That's what we're saying. The Lord will give you warning before he send that judgment, and worship him that made the heaven, the earth, the sea, and the fountains of the water. All right. In Revelation 13, you have a group of people, the biblical Edomites, the beast, his system, his image, his mark. They're telling you to worship them. Well, we're coming with the message, no, worship Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So we're living in a time where this message, all right, is not only speaking, okay, but we're seeing the results of what the prophets are speaking, because Babylon is on its way out, as we see, a few things that are happening in this day. You saw the fiasco of the presidential debate between Creepy Joe, all right, and Nero Trump, all right, which pretty much, when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter, okay, this all is fulfilled. Let's go back. This is all fulfilled in Revelation 13:11. I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. This is basically giving us insight. We did a video a couple of weeks ago, a live show. This is giving you insight, okay, to the revival of the fourth beast, the little horn spoken of in Daniel, the 7th chapter, which that's where judgment will be set. And the Most High will send his only begotten son back. It will happen in that beast, in that little horn. If y'all were watching the other day, these Christians came up to the camp, and I asked them, pursuant to Daniel, the 7th chapter, which beast are we in? Where are we? And he didn't know what the hell, he didn't know how to answer. So he basically said, we're not in the kingdom now. You're saying we're in the kingdom now. No, we don't teach we're in the kingdom now. We understand that these particular empires would have to reign and fulfill these very things we're reading before the end came. Okay? So I beheld another beast, which this is speaking of America. The revival of Rome will be fulfilled through America, NATO, and the EU. Okay, coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So the two horns like a lamb represent his two, his bipartisan system, his democratic and his republican system, which in ancient Rome you had the plebeians and the patricians. And there's other political parties, but these are the two that, they pretty much force upon the people to give them a false sense of freedom, a false sense of choice, a false sense of hope. Okay, but both parties are leading, all right, not only controversy and, division, okay, civil unrest, but they're leading you, all right, to what the scriptures speak of, the MOTB. Both of them are leading you to that system. Both of them are leading, all right, war. Both of them are doing the bidding of the elite. Okay, and this individual here, Trump, see the red tie, he has the blue. All of these things have meanings. Okay, and this is nothing but Rome, okay, revive. That's where you get the term inauguration, inaugur. Okay, that goes back to Rome, see, where they ultimately practice witchcraft, All right, soothsaying, fortune telling, trying to predict the future for their kingdom. All right, and right now, the American ideology is standing in the way of the New World Order. So they're systematically breaking it down. And when I say the American ideology, freedom for the people, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, these so-called constitutional rights, which were really supposed to be for Edomites. All right, but the Lord had it play out to where now you have particular, even us going out on the highways and the byways, that's pretty much within this system. That's our First Amendment right. Okay, freedom of speech, but we see they're slowly chipping away at that. All right, and we know some sort of false flag event is coming, Black Swan event. All right, where they're going to be justified in telling everybody to shut the hell up. All right, telling everybody this is what they're going to have to do in the form of this micro C-HIP. Okay, and they're going to do away with presidents. They're going to do away with Constitution. They're going to do away with your Bill of Rights, which all of those have been amended anyway. And they're going to set up a new system, which we believe, all right, will be a technocracy where technology, science-based, all right, government will be telling you what you need to do. And we know what they can do with that type of authority. All right, this is why you have the Hudat Treaty, where all of these nations are going to have to ultimately agree, all right, that if there's another, pandemic or something breaks out, they're going to have to give the authority over to them, all right, to tell the people what to do. But one of the things I wanted to focus on in this debate, which we know that this is a fiasco, and all of the nations are laughing at America. These are your two, candidates, man. And if you still talking about voting, if you're looking at these people and you say, well, I see a future, I see hope, all right, because a lot of you Israelites, you can't see a future without these Edomites standing in front of you with these suits on, telling you what they're going to do and arguing back and forth. This really intrigues our people. When we talk about a sovereign, government under who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, the 144,000 headed by the 12 disciples ruling the earth, that's a talking point worthy of laughing. Earth ruled by the Israelites, so-called blacks, so-called Native Americans. Okay, when we tell our people that we're getting ready to rule, because that's what's getting ready to happen. All right, the scriptures say in the book of Sirach 10, real quick, and no, Babylon won't be healed. Sirach 10 and 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So the kingdom is getting ready to be translated. All right. Now they have a plan to establish their new world order, but we know, according to prophecy, the Heavenly Father is not going to allow them to fully establish it. So this is the point of World War III breaking out. Okay, because through that, the Heavenly Father is going to send His Son. So if you look at this title, all right, because they were going back and forth, one was blaming the other. You're going to lead us to World War III. You're going to lead us to World War III. All right, but both of them are going to lead your ass to World War III. What's that scripture? I think I pulled it up here. Both of them, all right? Two horns like a lamb, okay? But they spake as a dragon. Speaking as a dragon goes into the draconian measures and the harsh rules that follow. They come, lowly as if they're there to help you, like a lamb, like they're meek and humble, but they speak as a dragon. Psalms 55 and 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, yet war was in his heart. All right. They were softer than oil, yet they were his words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords, man. Psalms 140 and 2, which imagine mischiefs in their heart, continually are they gathered together for war. And they're for to wage war on you American citizens, all right? And they're going to lead, okay, through Israel, the least of the flock. They're going to be drawn out to war. So let's listen to this, and let's get some scriptures, and, hopefully you're edified. We got a few things.
You want a World War III. Let him follow and win. You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on...
Look at this guy. Look at both of them, but look at this guy. And you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans made a fool of yourselves. We told you y'all was going to be crying for this guy to get back in office once this dude got finished with y'all. And we're seeing that be fulfilled. We're seeing, all right, because, although we know they put these people in office, they already have it determined. All right, it was our people, mainly so-called black women, all right, crying for Biden to save us, to put Biden in office. It was all about Biden. Now we're seeing those same, all right, Jake, all right, now, no, you know what, we want Trump back. But Trump, all right, is also controlled by the elite, and his ass is going to lead you, all right, into World War III and draconian measures being placed upon you and surveillance. He's big on surveillance. But he's being set up as this hero who's going to save you from the elite. He's going to save you from the dangers that can come with a digital currency. He's going to save you from, the W to the H to the ISO treaty. He's going to save you from the left. He's bigging up, Christianity, saying, look, under this guy's regime, all right, you being a Christian you'll be persecuted. So he's being set up as this savior, which when you read that in Revelation 13, ironically, when it says they had two horns like a lamb and he spake as a dragon, okay, because nothing but war and harsh methods of rule are getting ready to take place. But this word horn is keras. Okay, and just to get to the point, it says a mighty and valiant helper, the author of deliverance of the Messiah. And this is how the world, all right, you Americans look at these people. But if you look at what Biden is saying here, listen to him. He said, if you want to be led to World War III, follow this guy. But what has Biden been doing since he's gotten office, man? There's been nothing but war. They've supported nothing but war.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all, and required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a...
So, and I was trying to find the point where Trump responded, but ultimately Biden warned about the threat of World War III under Trump. Trump said, nigga, we're already headed to World War III under Biden. All right, and people, are starting to wake up to this fiasco. And the nations are laughing real quick. China mocks presidential debate, calling it very entertaining. And we know China is linked with, Russia, Iran. Okay, this place is getting ready to be destroyed, and it won't be healed. It says, hence, Chinese commentators mocked the first presidential debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Okay? Personal attacks, hazy memory, mocking each other. This debate was very entertaining for many Chinese people, wrote high-profile media commentator, all right, from China, all right? Objectively speaking, the low-quality performance of these two old men was a negative advertisement for Western democracy, he said, posting clips of the video with jokey musical soundtrack, man. And in the years, in the ancient world, to mock leaders and kings, man, that was worthy of war, man. But now that's the common thing, mocking the so-called emperor, man. Okay, China has is seen by the United States as a main strategic rival, and Beijing has made it clear that it seeks to displace a U.S.-dominated world order in its rise to global preeminence. So there you go. Let's see here. Although Trump criticized Biden in a debate for allegedly being in China's pocket, that drew less attention for Chinese watchers than performance, all right, of the candidates. So these people are laughing at you, man. And this is what the scripture said would happen. Now, this is speaking of Nineveh, but before Nineveh, which was the capital of the Assyrian Empire, before that fell, and that's all in the region of ancient Babylon, okay, the region of Iraq. Okay, before they fell, the men were effeminate, the leaders were effeminate, cross-dressers. It was freak show. The women were whores, and we're in a modern day Nineveh right now. This is Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, which America is now that well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, going throughout the four corners of the earth, bringing people under your democracy, destroying, the morals and values of these different countries, okay, buying them over to your way, all right, through that dollar and many other means, man, through the sword and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, meaning you're going to be exposed, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kings thy shame. See? So the nations are laughing at you. They're seeing your shame. I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and I will make thee vow, and I will set thee as a gazing stock. Let's look up this word gazing stock. Okay, because not only are they laughing at your presidential candidates, they're laughing at your men, they're laughing at your women, they're laughing at your children, they're laughing at your health, they're laughing at your education, they're laughing at your music, they're laughing at your morals. The word, all right, for a gazing stock is ra'aya, all right? Looking, appearance, seeing, sight, spectacle, all right? Meaning people are looking at you. To be a spectacle, okay, and everywhere you look, okay, these nations are mocking America, okay? A visually striking performance or display. So people are looking at this display of absolute iniquity, and they're mocking your ass, man. America is what? They're being set as a gazing stock, okay? Everybody's laughing at you, okay? When you go down here, verse 13, behold, the people in the midst of thee are as women. Everybody is as a sodomite, see feminine. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thy enemies. And this is why you have all of these different, all right, nations of people being able to be brought over here under the Biden administration. All right, the borders are open, right? And you have all manner of people over here, all right, with all manner of agendas. And when that civil war breaks out, they're going to be given what? Power, all right, to put hell on you citizens, man, with the sword. Okay? Verse 19, it says, there is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continuous? So when this place falls, these nations are going to be, all right, mocking your ass, man. Okay, right now you're still the world power, but that power is being weakened. Okay, and we can clearly see, all right, this is a mockery, man. When you look at this debate, it's childish, man. This is folly. Folly has been set in great dignity, man. And yet people are still ready to vote for either two of these, man, instead of turning to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, our people. Now, this was another point that was pretty funny. We'll get back to the World War III aspect. All right. It says, Trump says Biden has turned the U.S. into a third world nation. And look at it. I mean, it was already terrible, but look, all right, because what is a third world nation? We hear that term, All right, but it's important we know what we're talking about here before we. So let's go to Google. What is a third world nation? Okay. Third world. The modern definition of third world is used to classify countries that are poor and developing. Countries that are part of the third world are generally characterized by high rates of poverty, economic, political instability, and high mortality rates. It's just nothing but death, taxes, debt, and trouble. All right. As Marvin Gaye even told you that those things are for sure, right? And that song "Troubled Man," poverty, economic, instability, political instability, and high mortality rates. And this pretty much is what's become of America. But it's really under the rule of you Edomites, period. But the Lord did use Joe Biden to usher in the fulfillment of Sodom and Egypt, because he has pushed nothing but what? Rebellion. Now remember, this was Obama's vice president. Okay? And Jake was all up into Obama, man. Well, that dude was completely Satan. So he's doing nothing but forwarding the Obama, mindset, which is why you see all of this freakism and confusion. Joe Biden has damaged America's reputation on the world stage. Okay, all of you Edomite, all of your presidents have, all right, according to his Republican rival. Trump tore into Biden during their first presidential debate, accusing the president of wrecking the economy, triggering the migration crisis around at the southern border, and going after his political opponent. It says he also argued that Biden mishandled the withdrawal of the U.S. troops in Afghanistan. That was completely tacky. All right, he just left all those weapons over there. Okay, and as soon as America left, all right, the men told the women to shut your ass up and get back in the order you were in before they came. Because when America's there, what do they push? They push that wine. They push those philosophies, man. It says such policy failures damaged America's global brand, he argued. This is why nations are, and it's not just Biden, all right, but America prophetically is on the decline. Throughout the entire world, we are no longer respected as a country, Trump said in the debate. All right, they don't respect our leadership. Okay, they don't respect the United States anymore. We've become like a third world nation. The economy has collapsed. Okay, there are no jobs. What do you say here? Biden defended his record as president while insisting Trump responded poorly to the C-19 demic, and his tax reform only benefit the wealthy. Everything they do only benefit the wealthy. But I will say this, when Republicans are in office, right, there is more money floating around for just the average everyday Americans to have. Okay? When Dems are in office, you just get all of these, it's basically you become like a constituent to where, these people represent this poor group of people, and you have this shit show where it's just kind of like, well, Black Lives Matter. This, like, they promise you all of these various different things, all right, which all of them are the devil. But within this whole system of Edomite supremacy, so-called black people have this love affair with Democrats, when historically they've been the ones in all of the tribes. They've been the ones historically that have put a foot in your ass. Okay, Andrew Jackson was a Democrat. Democracy really goes back to Athens, Greece. Okay, and democracies usually lead to tyrannies. Okay, so none of them are good for you. All of it benefits the wealthy. But this notion that, the Democrats mean us well, all right, no, they just dangle that hot link in front of you, and you keep chasing it, and you never get anywhere, and eventually you fall off a cliff. Okay, with all of these promises. Okay, it says the economy collapsed, there were no jobs, the unemployment rose to 15%. Biden said of his opponent's term in office, Trump left the country in chaos. He added, arguing that the current administration has been successfully rebuilding the economy. No, you're successfully rebuilding, all right, a place to be destroyed. Okay? And all of this money is going to Ukraine. All of this money is going to Israel. Meanwhile, the people over here are suffering, man. Okay? And the Heavenly Father is getting ready to send us. And let's get what I had earlier. Okay? Yeah, they've been set up as saviors, but Jeremiah 51:1. All right? Babylon is going to be judged for its sins against Israel. Y'all are not going to get away from the reality of how, all right, the southern kingdom got over here and what happened, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and what you did to the northern kingdom. Okay? So-called Native Americans, man. The indigenous people of North, Central, and South America. Okay? Jeremiah 51:1, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst that rise up against me, because this place is risen up against the Lord. Okay? A destroying wind. See? A destroying wind is coming to this place, man. But the point that I wanted to get to, because a lot of death is coming, man. Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hands that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay? All of these countries are mad dealing with you. You know, following after you and working for your interest. The nations are mad. They've gone mad. Okay? That's why in Europe they have this slogan, make Europe great again. As a matter of fact, let me pull that up. The nations are mad. Okay? Let's see here. Make Europe great again. Hungary's new motto for EU presidency has a familiar ring to it. So, you know, in these, when we read Revelation 17, we know these EU nations, you know, work for the interest of Babylon, but now they're like, we got to make Europe great again. Following after Babylon and all of these different policies, they ain't benefiting us, as Europe is in shambles right now through sanctions and through following the beast, America. Okay? Through following America and its policies, now they're like, look, we need to make Europe great again. Okay? Play a little bit of this real quick. It's a pretty decent video. I just want to play a part. The Make Europe Great Again conference. What is it about?
Itself. Here's a description of what the conference is about from the conference website. The Make Europe Great Again conference comes at a time when Europe and the whole world are facing a crucial choice on which our very future and that of our children will depend. On one side, there is the globalist left, bent on disfiguring society and corrupting people's minds and souls. And on the other side, we find ourselves, conservatives and patriots, the only safeguard from this unprecedented...
The globalist left. See? So all of these elites, everybody's divided. This whole thing is divided, which is what the leading us into World War III. Everything has happened perfectly. We know that these different, EU countries and even certain NATO countries are what? They're gonna shoot missiles on the whore. They're gonna grow tired of the whore, which is America. Okay.
Madness. In this context, we need to stand firm and show the neo-Marxists and all the other globalists that mankind will not bow to lies, moral decadence, and soft totalitarianism.
Moral decadence. All right, they're looking at where their economies are going through, you know, these policies and everything, and they're tired. So again, as we always read in Revelation the 17th chapter. Yeah, they're mocking. They're tired of America. Let's make Europe great again. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree to give their kingdom into the beast for the purpose of forwarding, all right, America. Okay, because when you deal with the EU, they're subordinate vassals to the modern day Roman Empire, which is fulfilled in America. Okay. But again, those particular countries are vassals, all right, to the to America, subordinate, meaning they have their own thing going, but they work in the interest of the greater, which is America. See, but we're living in a time where these different EU countries, okay, they're tired of America, okay, and many of them are going to join Russia and shoot missiles over here. So they've agreed to give their kingdom to this beast system until the words of the Lord be fulfilled. And we're just about at that point. Okay? So these European leaders are like, look, looking at the result of, what's happening in Europe, they like, we need to make Europe great again. Thought that was interesting. So let's go back here, Jeremiah 51:7. So the nations are mad. And that was just one little example. So much we can go into. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroy. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let every one, all right, of us go into his own country. Meaning these countries are now, all right, going to work, all right, in their own interest. See, now you do have people literally leaving here, going back to their countries, but ultimately everybody's going to their own corner, all right, and they're going to protect the interests of their people, and they're even making alliances and covenants with one another, okay, to work and operate outside of the dollar, okay, to trade outside of the dollar, okay, for her judgments reacheth into the sky and is lifted even unto the heaven. So the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. Okay? And this whole Biden-Trump fiasco, see if we can get I think I had another clip, see here. Yeah.
President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized as being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. Convicted.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. This was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine, never, during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas, number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept.
Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he...
Yeah, and I think I have a video. The veterans are pissed off. Let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah, these veterans are pissed the hell off, man. Under all of you presidents, none of you take care of the veterans.
Fuck would anyone go to war for you? I'm 100% disabled fucking veteran. And guess what they do when you get out? First they break you down and they brainwash you. And then they tell you, hey, you're a soldier now. You're an airman now. You're a Marine now. You're a sailor now. Stand with pride in your uniform that costs like $800 that you have to pay out of your own paycheck. They don't just give it to you. You gotta pay for it. And then after they brainwash you, they throw you the fuck in the trash. Nobody wants to go to war for you. You don't take care of the American people. You don't take care of the service members. And by God, you goddammit, don't fucking take care of the veterans. Fuck you.
Yeah, that scripture. Sirach 26:28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one who turneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepared such as one for the sword. And though, these are Edomites and heathen and certain of our own people who entered into this man's military and took L's, it's all an anti-Messiah system. That's still one of your crimes, how you treat the people who go and fight for you in war. But anyway, I wanted to get this video here and check out some of this. See if we got a few articles. See if we got some more articles. Yeah, and like it says, here, this is an article here. World War III is inevitable. Okay, and it's too late to stop it now. All right, it's coming. Okay. Iran's on fire. Russia's on fire. China. Everybody has a evil eye towards the West. Okay, there's a lot going on in the world. All right, and you could look this article up. I ain't gonna get into it, but World War III is inevitable. Okay, and yes, you women, okay, will be drafted into World War III because there's the morale rate here in America is terrible. So a big part of the judgment of these wicked, all right, men and women here is a lot of you are going to be carted off to war. Okay, so you women will get a chance to showcase, all right, the fact that you can do what men do, all right, and you'll be able to showcase the strength, and ultimately you'll go to war. Now, a lot of women are, over this talking point, and saying, well, why should women? Well, we're equal, right? So good luck with equality. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna do a video on this because I have a video that I've been planning on how feminism ends for actual women, to show you that you've been duped. Okay, to show you that you've been duped, man. And this place is gonna be destroyed. War is on the horizon. Okay, we see, Russia signed new pact with Iran, all right, in very near future, okay? And this is all Ezekiel the 38th chapter is talking about. When we get Ezekiel the 38th chapter, as a matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Revelation 8 and 13, I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven saying, woe, all right, with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. Woe, woe, woe. All right, those are the three wars. Okay, and we know Ezekiel 38, which Bishop Nate says this is going to happen after Yahushua returns, which, I don't understand his reasoning, but, Jake is just going all completely left. But, these countries that are going to join themselves with Magog, Gog and Magog, which Gog just means, like ruler. Magog is actually landmass of where Russia is today. It talks about how these different countries, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, Persia is Iran. Okay, again, these prophecies are being fulfilled right in our face. Okay, Turkey, all right, warns that Israel, all right, Turkey's Erdogan, all right, warns Israel that they stand with Lebanon if war is pursued. See, this is Ezekiel 38th chapter, all right, where ultimately Turkey, all right, and many other nations are going to align themselves, all right, against Israel. So we're witnessing Ezekiel 38th chapter play out. But I wanted to play some of this video to get some.
Well, NATO appears barreling towards World War III. This after President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, offered up a peace agreement, which NATO, unceremoniously crapped all over. Now, Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, warning all of us that, yes, in fact, NATO is moving to expand, building 3 additional bases, and plans to push us into full-blown war.
And that goes against the deal they had, that they wouldn't push any, they wouldn't, add any more countries to NATO. They wouldn't push any more towards Russia. That was an agreement they had written up. And NATO ain't holding to that. They're expanding. So what is this going to move Russia to do? And again, war, as that article said, World War III is inevitable. Okay?
Or with Russia, watch.
A NATO úgy akarja segíteni Ukrajnát, hogy létrehoz egy úgynevezett NATO-ukrán missziót.
Ez azt jelenti, hogy a NATO fogja koordinálni az Ukrajnának adandó fegyverek
And if NATO, which America is a big part of this, is giving weapons to Ukraine, this gives an ally to NATO in the front yard of Russia, which we already know they ain't going to go for that, because remember, in the old Soviet Union, Ukraine was a part of it. So here it is, you're going to tell Russia, your old ally, we're going to make them our ally, all right, which this is causing that friction. Okay, this is what's causing that friction, a big part of it.
Szállítását létre fognak hozni 3 nagy támaszpontot, ahol átadják a fegyvereket Ukrajnának, de még itt NATO országok területén, Lengyelországban, Szlovákiában, Romániában. Mi erre nem vagyunk hajlandóak. Szerintünk, ahol fegyvereket adnak át, az katonai célponttá válik az ellenség nézőpontjából, és ott bármi megtört. NATO országok területén,
But here in the territory of NATO countries, Poland, Slovakia, and Romania,
Lengyelországban, Szlovákiában, Romániában. Mi erre nem vagyunk.
We're not willing to do this. We don't want to give weapons to Ukraine. So there's that division again, right?
Hajlandóak. Szerintünk, ahol fegyvereket ad.
We think, all right, that where weapons are handed becomes military target from the enemy's point of view. So they're saying if we're going to give all of these weapons to Ukraine, this only is open us up, all right, to be targeted by Russia in the countries that are aligned with them.
Adnak át, az katonai célponttá válik az ellenség nézőpontjából, és ott bármi megtörténhet. És tehát az ukrán misszió azt jelenti,
So the Ukraine mission means that NATO create these weapon coordinated transfer points.
A NATO felől, hogy létrehozza ezeket a fegyverkoordinációs átadási pontokat. A második, hogy a NATO tagállamok.
The second is that NATO members will do money to support Ukraine's military efforts.
Pénzt dobnak össze, hogy támogassák Ukrajna katonai erőfeszítéseit. És harmadrészt pedig kiképeznek ukrán
And the third is that they will train Ukrainian soldiers.
Katonákat. Van egy vita, hogy a saját területükön vagy ukrán területén.
So this is going to lead to war. Okay?
A lényeg, hogy a frontra menő ukrán katonák kiképzésében közvetlen szerepet vállalnak. Most Magyarország ebben nem akar részt venni.
Hungary does not want to take part in this. Again, those divisions, okay? Which America is at the forefront of this.
És ezt a problémát kellett megoldani. Nyilvánvalóan van rajtunk egy óriási nyomás. 31 tagállam tol bennünk.
31 member states are pushing to move from the side of peace to the side of war.
Bele, hogy úgy, ahogy ők, mi is álljunk át a béke oldaláról, a háború oldalára.
And he's not the only one. We have Serbian President Vučić also saying the very same thing, that war with Russia will start in about 3 months. So 3 months till a full-blown war, this appears to be what NATO wants. And NATO seems to be getting this. Let's ask former CIA intelligence agent Larry Johnson, who has some impeccable sources on this. I wanted to get Larry's assessment of this from an intelligence perspective, and what is sort of like happening in the back channels right now as this appears to be barreling towards war. Larry, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Hey, Clayton. Great to be with you, man.
So, we see Putin put out this peace proposal the other day, and NATO just immediately just stepped all over it. No, we're not going to be giving back this land. This is not going to happen. And it appears that the only solution from NATO's perspective is like a surrender of Russia, which is not going to happen. So what do you think is happening right now, sort of back channels, to maybe prevent World War III, or are we heading towards a full-blown World War III?
With respect to your last question, yes, that's where we're headed. Putin he's playing a game of poker with the West, and the West doesn't realize it's not holding any cards. So when you go back and look at the negotiations that took place in March of 22, Putin at that point was willing to let Luhansk and Donetsk stay within Ukraine. That was it. The West, as you correctly noted, crapped all over that, told Zelensky to back out of that. He did. So they didn't get that deal done. So now here we are. Putin has put a new deal on the table. Okay, this deal now says, all right, we're going to keep Donetsk, we're going to keep Luhansk, and we're going to keep Kherson and Zaporizhia. But come to the table and talk. Everything else is open. Notice what wasn't on that list. Odessa. So Putin has left Odessa in play for them, giving the West and Ukraine an incentive to save something of Ukraine. And what did the West do? Once again, as you said, crapped all over it. Okay, they missed this opportunity. Next stop, Odessa and Kiev. So the Russians are prepared. They recognize they are at war with NATO. They're not just fighting Ukraine. And Putin made that very clear last week when he spoke before the foreign ministry. And I was in Russia for the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum a week and a half ago. And it was during that week, on Monday, that I think it was Monday, June 4th, June 3rd, there was a decided shift in what both Vladimir Putin was saying, what Foreign Minister Lavrov was saying, and Deputy Foreign Minister Rybkov was saying. They were making it very clear that the West was playing with fire and that Russia was not going to sit back and be a punching bag. That was their bottom line. And so it's up to the West to figure out what it's going to do. The Russians are prepared to go to war. And here's the real problem. The West is delusional. It's out of touch. It believes its own advertisements. And it's in the self-delusional state where they've convinced themselves that Russia is weak, that the only reason Russia's hanging in there is because of China. And so what
Right, because see, America thinks that it's still dealing with that weakened, right, disbanded USSR. All right, but we see in prophecy the Lord, all right, would put hooks in the jaws of Russia, meaning it would be an untamed beast, and many nations would align themselves. You know, BRICS is a part of that. Okay, but again, there's many nations aligning themselves. You know, many African nations, all right, aligning themselves with Russia to, you know, help fix their economy. They're withdrawing from the aid of the beast. And they're all aligning themselves with Russia. World War III is on the way, brothers. All right, and you sisters that listen, we're here. They have to go to war in order to accomplish what they want anyway. This is why all of this is forced. This is all forced. But this is all going to lead to the demise of Israel and Babylon the Great.
the Russ really wants to do is go after China, as you saw Jens Stoltenberg, the head of NATO, say just today. You know, they want to fight China. These guys are like a drunk in a bar that's out of control, wants to fight everybody.
Right. Travel not with a bold fellow. Okay. America is like your drunk friend that gets you. All right. Israel, too. Israel is like that drunk friend that draws you into conflict. See?
And like that drunk in the bar, incapable of throwing a punch.
It's really disturbing, and Viktor Orban doesn't want to be a part of it, it appears. The Prime Minister of Hungary, as we just played that sound from you, and here he's laying out exactly what he's being told from a NATO perspective. I mean, this is kind of amazing. I mean, here you have a NATO member saying NATO wants to expand, added 3 additional bases, and they want full-blown war with Russia, and we don't want to be a part of it. I mean, I've never seen anything like this happen before.
This is division. All right, a nation divided, a kingdom divided can't stand. This is Daniel, the 2nd chapter. We always go into that. They don't agree. They have the power of the sword, all right, but the miry clay aspect, politically, economically, all right, you know, future-wise, who's going to get what in the New World Order, they don't agree. Morally, they don't agree. Okay?
Right, and Slovakia is saying the same, and Turkey. Now, that's the key one, because the Turks weighed in last week, said, okay, hey, we want to be a part of BRICS. We're tired of getting stiffed by the Europeans for 25 years. We've been trying to get into the EU for 25 years, and they keep, you know, giving us the finger.
Right.
And now Turkey said, okay, we'll get into BRICS. And the Turks told the rest of NATO, hey, if you get into war with Russia, count us out. Why is that important? Turkey represents the 2nd largest military force in NATO.
Right. And pursuant to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, Turkey is going to align themselves with Russia. Okay, so this thing is close, man.
Without Turkey, NATO's an empty shell, because right now in the U.S. military, the entire strength of the U.S. Army, 455,000. That covers the globe. Russian military is 1.3 million. Normally, any army that's going to get in an offensive action against a defending foe, in this case Russia would be the defending force, needs a 3-to-1 advantage.
So again, they're spread too thin, just like the ancient Roman Empire. America's military is spread too thin. You know, the morale of the people in the military is low. You got sodomites, weirdos, women, weak men. The people who are aligned with you and that are your allies are what? Pursuing the book of Obadiah. Okay? They're turning on you. Okay? They're turning on you. NATO members are turning on NATO, the mission. Obadiah, verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. All right, they that have taken on that dollar taking on your democracy. They're laying a wound under thee, and there was no understanding. So America is getting set up to be destroyed.
Well, do the math. They got 1.3 million. That means you better be going in there with about 4 million folks. They can't even meet the recruiting goals in the United States. The only way they're meeting the recruiting goals now, they lowered, last year they wanted to recruit like 70,000. They missed it. This year,
They lowered. Nobody wants to join the American military. All right. The men of Babylon. Okay. Jeremiah 51:30. The mighty men of Babylon, because they used to be mighty, have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They have become as women. All right. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. This is what's getting ready to happen to America, man. You think we just making this up? Now, we know these are all wars and rumors of wars. It hasn't just come yet, but this is what's coming down the pipe.
sure they're saying, yay, we're making our goal. Because they lowered the number to 55,000, okay?
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
When you're lying to yourself like this all the time, and you don't even recognize you're lying to yourself, that's a sign you're in trouble.
And of course, we learned now the House of Representatives pushing forward with this move to make mandatory registration for service members, men 18 to 26-year-old in the United States into selective service. So as part of a national draft age. So this is really, really scary. I mean, and you heard the Serbian President Vučić also saying that in about 3 months, this is when they're going to war. Like, they're privy to this information, whether through intelligence sources or not. I mean, what from your intelligence sources, when you hear Vučić say something like 3 months, that's when we're heading to war with Russia, or NATO's heading to war with Russia, do your alarm bells go off, or are you able to confirm?
And we're not giving, we ain't telling you in 3 months war is happening. All right, but as a believer, you should know the times you're in. See, there's a time for war, a time of peace. We ain't in a time of peace. Okay, we have peace amongst each other. We have peace through the Holy Spirit, more importantly, of understanding what's to come. So when these things come to pass, they're not going to take us by, surprise. And ultimately, we know and understand it's the will of the Lord. As these things happen on earth, a lot of people are going to lose it. There's going to be a lot of suicide. A lot of people are going to bow to the beast. They ain't going to know what to do. They ain't going to have no faith. This is why we tell you this next glory, which it is coming. We ain't going to be on the YouTube and on the street corners forever. The next glory is going to require faith and how the Lord guides his believers, the elect on the earth. Okay? Because the life as we knew it, this whole American dream, this system, all right, you're gonna have to know and understand it was never meant to be forever, and it was always a nightmare. Okay? America was created. This is the new Egypt. It had its time. Now the Lord is systematically taking this place down, man.
Confirm, deny anything like that on your side?
Well, from the rhetoric standpoint, in terms of what they're saying, not just what Orban's saying, but what Stoltenberg is saying, what members of Congress are saying, yeah, I think that's the direction we're headed. But here's the problem. Behind that talk, it's easy to be, tough talk and the bombast and the belligerency. But that means you got to put in place under the U.S. military, what's called JOPS, the Joint Operations Planning Execution System. There's a thing called the tip fiddle. Well, that is the time, phase, introduction of troops. So tip fiddle means you got to start notifying units, okay, hey, you're going to deploy, and they get the warning, they get an alert order, and then they get a warning order, and then they get a deployment order, and then, so that takes time. Right. I know, for example, on the Gulf War, in the war that started in 2003 in Iraq, that whole process started a year out. So I have not heard any word that tip fiddle has actually been activated and that they're starting to move troops. But even if they do that, where are they going to get the troops? They don't. It's not like everybody, England's sitting there, max force, 70,000 guys. Okay? That's how many people Ukraine has lost in 2 months. Just to put it into context. Germans, similar size. Finland, talking, its mouth is trying to cash checks that it just can't actually. That's how many people Ukraine has lost in 2 months. Just to put it into context. Germans, similar size. Finland, Sweden. I mean, NATO's is a joke. And it's talking, its mouth is trying to cash checks that it just can't actually right.
Is it possible then that we wouldn't see NATO trying to go into a direct hot war with Russia, but rather continue down this path? After all, President Biden over the past few days signing that ridiculous 10-year agreement with Zelensky to funnel billions more in weapons and money into Ukraine for 10 years. I guess really regardless of whoever's president, they know that they wanted to get this done before Biden's replaced in office by Gavin Newsom in the next few weeks. So they want to get this done ahead of time so that Trump can't undermine it, can't pull this money back. Is it possible that it'll just continue to be a sieve where we'll just continue to pour money and weapons to clean out the stocks, but not actually go into a full-blown direct hot war with Russia, or has that ship already sailed?
Well, the U.S. can't figure out what it wants to do, and neither can NATO. Because on the one hand, they continue to talk like, okay, we got to step up and get that funding for.
So the beast system is being broken up, is confounded, is divided. This is all Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Okay, Revelation 17. All right, we're here, man. We always go through these breakdowns, right?
For Ukraine, except even Stoltenberg admitted, about 3 weeks ago, hey, all of you NATO countries have promised ante up for Ukraine. Where's your money? You've refused to pay up.
Right.
So they're not kicking in. And at the same time, the rhetoric is shifting. Well, Russia's a problem, but China's the threat. We got to deal with China. And so then you start scratching your head saying, okay, guys, can we get rational? Right now, we got a U.S. aircraft carrier task force in the Red Sea. And they can't stop the Houthis, for God's sake. These guys are wearing sandals and carrying curved daggers and throwing missiles at us, and we can't stop that. But by God, we're going to take on the Chinese. And while we're at it, we're going to fight the Russians. Okay, get the bottle away from them. Take the syringe out of their hand. It's like a degenerate drug addict.
Yeah.
They are completely divorced from reality.
Divorced from reality. Hey, that's, Isaiah, the 19th chapter. All right. Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Economic, decline, moral decay, stuff like this. Okay? A pride parade in New York. This is madness. And look who's there. Look who's the first nigga you see. This is confusion. You telling me this place don't deserve to be destroyed? Another one. Boy, Eve loved that alphabet stuff. But there's an article I'm going to do a video on, Lord willing, where these liberal, American women are the most depressed and addicted to, psych meds. All right? Because all of that rebellion, hey, you're going to have to answer for it, man. This big nigga. Big New York Giant looking nigga. More Eve. This is a perverse spirit. This is Sodom and Egypt. Mingled amongst the heathen. This nigga. Mingled amongst the heathen, learning their works. More niggas. Ugh, never mind. Let's listen to him again. Although he's talking about the NATO, America's a part of that.
Bottle away from them, take the syringe out of their hand. It's like a degenerate drug addict.
Yeah.
We're at it, we're going to fight the Russians. Okay, get the bottle away from them, take the syringe out of their hand. It's like a degenerate drug addict.
Yeah.
They are completely divorced from reality. And, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's the other thing to do.
Yeah.
And here's the reality is the ability of the United States to do is extremely limited, particularly in this year where you've got a presidential election. Do you think all the young people are lining up going, good Lord, I never thought about enlisting, and being drafted is a great idea. Plus, they're taking away my TikTok. I can't wait to vote.
Right. I can't wait to. And you're going to send me to fight China? Yeah, sign me up. Yeah, they are devoid.
By the way, how are we going to get there? You're going to get on a ship that's completely vulnerable to the hypersonic missiles that China has, and we don't? Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, get on an aircraft carrier. Yeah, get on a sitting duck aircraft carrier from the 1970s. I mean, they are really devoid of reality right now. It's like
they are.
Me when I was in junior, in elementary school, and I thought I was going to play in the NBA.
This country is going to fight against Russia, China, Turkey eventually. No. Madness. So yeah, World War III is inevitable, man. And we always go into Daniel, the second chapter, where the 10 toes, which is the end, the NATO, EU, it's all divided, man. And they're all going to turn against Babylon. So it's another thing, these 5 United States are suing these people, all right, over C-19 juice safety, all right? So you got a lot of stuff going on. They're trying to throw it under the bridge, act like it ain't there. Oh, there was another train derailment, too. Pull that up. Gorillas are fighting and killing chimpanzees. This shit is crazy, man. Well, with chimpanzees killing gorillas, that's never happened. I was checking this video. Everything's confused. Everything's in a confused state, but we'll look at that. We'll go into that later, but.
This is Dabu 7. A heads up for folks around Chicago in that immediate area. As you can see here on this map, the area of Madison, Illinois, has had a train derailment, and this has prompted emergency long-term evacuations in the area. So if you know anyone that lives up here, got any friends or family that may be unaware of this, I would check in with them just to make sure. They're saying that this is a mandatory evacuation for all residences and businesses around this site. This occurred around the 217th Street and Main intersection. Now, we don't know exactly what is on board, but there's 20 different cars that were hauling various substances, and there are substances leaking. There are chemicals leaking in the area, and we don't know what those are. There's no immediate reports of fires or even injuries at the site, but this leak could be anything. Leaching.
You remember last year, it was a train derailment every other week. The beginning of this year, maybe, too.
Into the ground, into the waterway, and they've told everybody in the immediate area, prepare, get out. This is a long-term evacuation. So how long?
Then they told them, that everything was good, but let's see here. Yep, Trump warns that Christians that their religion will be in tatter, if Biden wins. So Trump is being set up to be this, Christian, American saving figure, which they're going to use him to wage war against people who believe in the Bible. Oklahoma State Superintendent directs schools to incorporate Bible, 10 Commandments, and teaching. This is going to cause division. Let's see what else we got. Oh boy. Yeah. See what else we got. CDC, everyone aged 6 months or over should have juice this fall. Oh, Michelle Obama spotted on voter registration letter, because they're going to replace Biden. That's a possibility. They're going to replace him. And who knows? Some people, I don't know. We'll see. WEF unveils AI smart tech to ethically eliminate non-compliant humans. Oh yeah, we'll get into that on another video. We got it, you know, the miracles of the beast. I got to do that. News and prophecy as well. Racism can make black women eat more. Well, that explains a lot. It says, yeah, you see that. Yeah, whatever. And look at these devils, man. These Moabites, man. Creepy, smiling robot face made from human skin. What are these devils? What are these heathen up to? I'm just trying to play the video. We ain't. I guess we gotta go. Yeah, this is made of human skin. Why? Why are you doing this? It's the article on it. The heathen are losing their damn mind. We ain't got to look at that nasty crap. Okay? Smiling robot face made from human skin cells. Are you telling me the Lord don't need to send back his son? We tripping? No, y'all tripping. Shit, we may be sipping, but we ain't tripping. All right? Shit, I ain't even been sipping. Yeah, we already know that. Millions of customers are rejecting Gil Bates' fake meat. Once praised for world's highest juice rate, Portugal now records highest excess of deaths. I wonder why. More satanic madness. Putin issues urgent warnings. U.S. preparing bird flu. All right, false flag to sabotage election. Hey, I wouldn't put it past them. We know something's coming. Fake meat linked to higher risk of heart disease and strokes. Scientists say liberal women are most mentally unwell demographic in the world. Yeah, at all of these marches and all, you know, marching for the alphabet rights, they're all messed up in the head. Okay? Macron, French president, warns of bloodbath in the streets of France if Le Pen wins. So everywhere we look is just hell, you know. I had some other scriptures, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to end it there. Hopefully I'll edify on to the next. Shalom.